Hey guys, in today's video I want to talk about iOS 11.3. I've had it installed on this iPhone 10 for the last couple of days, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on the performance, the battery, any new features that I've come across, and when we can expect Beta 3 to come out. So let's get right to the video. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the network tabs under the About section. Now, I don't know if you guys ever seen this before, but it's the first time I've seen it. Under the Networks tab, if I have a SIM card inside of the device that's not active, gives you a SIM card not provisioned, which means the SIM card is currently not active or connected to the network. The first time I've seen this is an iPhone 10 with an AT&T SIM card inside that's not currently active. So that's one of the things that I've noticed in the last couple of days, that it's different in iOS 11.3 Beta 2 in comparison to previous iOS versions. Now, also the iMessages or messages within iCloud has a new splash screen here, giving you, of course, the information for iMessages and iCloud and what it can do. But the splash screen's a little different. As you can see here, the layout, if you may remember the first one from Beta 1 on iOS 11.3, it is a little bit different. As well as the podcast splash screen, when you first open the application, you get some details of the application, some more privacy information, but it is a little different as well. I've come across that. Now, as using HomePod for the last couple of days, if I stream music from my device using Apple Music on the iPhone, it gives me a prompt that the music will stop playing once I'm not near the HomePod. In order to provide a seamless experience, I have to have the Apple Music subscription and the music and iCloud enabled on the iPhone in order for the HomePod to independently run the music without me having to be in my house in case I leave and someone is listening to the same music I was listening to. The HomePod won't stop playing because I'm not nearby. Now, in terms of battery performance, it's also something I want to talk about. I did test iOS 11.3, the first beta. In terms of battery performance, I want to say that the battery is very close to identical when it comes to the first beta. We haven't seen any major improvements. That's why I didn't really have a battery comparison video this time around. But the battery in iOS 11.3, it's looking good. With all that being said, we do have a few freezes, things that kind of glitch out, things that, sometimes don't work as intended, but it is something that is consequence of a beta. If you ever come across a glitch or something that isn't working properly and you're running the latest beta, you can always use the feedback application to send this information to Apple in order to get this operating system up to a speed to run as it should once it officially launches in the future. So one thing I also want to talk about is expected release date for iOS 11.3 Beta 3. It looks like Apple is going on a 2-week cycles in order to release new betas. We're going on the third beta most likely on the week of the 19th. So the 19th, 20th, or 21st, we could be looking at the third beta for iOS 11.3. Some additional features will, of course, be polished up and maybe added. Apple has already given us the battery health indicator here, or settings, that we can now take a look at our battery health. So additional features will be added with the software. So we're expecting iOS 11.3 to be released sometime on the week of the 20th, as I mentioned. It looks like Apple is releasing betas every 2 weeks, just in time to release the official launch of iOS 11.3 sometime in the spring, as they mentioned. So we could be looking at least 6, 7, maybe 8 betas for iOS 11.3. But the good thing is the performance seems to be very good as far as second beta is concerned. That's a very good indication that this software is going to be the one to be in once it is officially released. It looks like it's performing the best so far since iOS 11 was first introduced. So just giving you my thoughts. Battery performance close to identical to the first beta, which is a good thing. We can anticipate the third beta on the week of the 20th. And from here on out, it looks like we're going to be seeing polishing up and more minor features and changes added to the software. I hope you guys enjoyed this follow-up video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.